Make sure to pick up your official NBA programs. Get players stats, find schedules, and read interviews with NBA players. Programs are located at all entrances to the stadium.
18. Please don't try to play us. 18.
We've got the Grizzlies in Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee, against an Eastern Conference team here at the FedEx Forum. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, David Alton. And we've got...
well, guys, Victor Oladipo...
he's definitely on an upward trajectory, DA. Thank you. And Clark, the league, in general, increasing the pace of play. Tonight's teams exemplify that approach.
I really think the game was meant to be played at a high pace, Kevin. We've had periods where it's been a little bit more bump and grind, defensive-oriented, but I like the trend that the game has taken on the last decade or so. Up and down, a lot of possessions, a lot of scoring, and a lot of entertainment value. I love it. I love the way the game is played now.
I couldn't agree more. Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. Filling out the wings, it's Oladipo and Bogdanovic. Kyle O'Quinn out there with Sabonis. And it's Collison in the point. And Oladipo kicks to Bogdanovic. Pass to Sabonis. Shoots over Griffin. It's rebounded by Memphis. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
Yeah, you know what? The waters were calm for most of the game. I mean, little resistance. Felt like they could get any look they wanted at any time.
Back to Oladipo. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Reyes, the pass to Gasol. Back to AI. Memphis moving it around. Puts up a three, and he's good on the three ball. AI's got his first 3 points of the game.
Talk about a great start. 3 of 3 from the field to get the game going. They're cooking with gas, folks.
Collison kicks to O'Quinn. Shot to stop the run. Drills it from outside.
Anything you can do, I can do better. We got a little gamesmanship going on.
Yeah, a little mano-mano, back and forth. Guys going at each other, giving this game a little bit of edge and personality. I like it.
And O'Quinn sends it back. Here's Oladipo. And it's AI with the rebound.
That's another miss. Already they've missed 3 out of 4 to start.
Gasol inside. O'Quinn defending. That one drops for him.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Collison finds O'Quinn. Sinks that one from the post. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. The pass to Caspi. Griffin dishes to AI. Pass to Caspi. Launches a three. And AI gets it to go on the assist by Caspi. And it's 6 points for AI. Pacers trail by 7. Collison kicks to O'Quinn. To the inside. Rejected by Gasol.
You really got to admire the reach of Gasol. He's excellent at utilizing those long arms of his to turn away shots.
And that one's good, Harrison.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Ball's knocked loose. And there's the foul. It'll go on AI. That's his first foul.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think you got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Whistle blows. Yep, that's going to be a travel. Now let's take a look at the top rookies in the league. Our rankings here for the race for Rookie of the Year. Distinction every young player would love to have. You look at AI. Well, he's shown he's a force as we move along in the meat of the season, sitting pretty at that #1 spot now, and it's his race to lose.
And this is just a special, special player. No question he should be favored for the Rookie of the Year award at this point.
I ditto all of that. I mean, it's taken him only about half. The season to show that he's going to be one of the faces of the NBA for a long time to come, barring injury.
And here's Sabonis. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Oh, that's blocked. They get it back. Clock is at 3. And for 3, Collison.
And so far, having trouble converting on the inside.
Yeah, those are the shots you want, but they've been trickling out on them, guys. They just got to stay with it. Persist in getting those good shots inside, and they'll drop.
To the paint. There's Sabonis. And slam dunk by Sabonis.
Outstanding anticipation that time from Oladipo, seeing the floor extremely well and then zipping the pass over to the open man.
And for Victor Oladipo, his jump forward, Clark, as a player, came through a lot of small improvements, but perhaps the largest was his shooting.
Yeah, I like the fact that you mentioned the incremental improvements in those small areas. You know, his percentages certainly went up inside and out, but he created a lot of chances for himself and his teammates with his driving ability. And he got very comfortable shooting off the bounce and not just relying on the catch and shoot. And boy, his confidence, you could just see it elevate with each passing month of the season. And this guy's a bona fide all-star.
It's stolen by Oladipo. On target from 13 feet.
You have to respect Oladipo's jump shot now. I mean, he is a skilled mid-range shooter who likes to shoot it from there.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. The Pacers beat them last time when these two teams met in Indiana.
Yeah, their last outing was a rough one. Have to be careful of falling in love with that 3.
And you know what, Greg? You can't afford to be a one-function offense. You know what I mean? You've got to be versatile. Got to spread it out and mix it up inside, too.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Alex Len's checked in for Gasol. Jackson comes in for Blake Griffin. Dylan Brooks, he's checked in for Caspi. And Garrett Temple subbed in for Harrison. And Joseph kicks to Leaf. Here's Young, and Jackson with the block. And here we go. Fast break, and AI's got it. He gets that one. AI's got 8. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Grizzlies.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
To the middle, Young with the steal. Now here's Joseph. He's covered closely. To the paint, here's Holiday, and Holiday throws it down.
Yeah, Joseph adept at finding his open teammates, and that's exactly what you want from your point guard.
And the Grizzlies leading by 4. Here's Reyes, an easy 2 points on the layup. 10 points for him.
He's been turned up this quarter, showing a lot of confidence and sinking a lot of his shots.
Now here's Joseph. 11 points for him in that last game against Toronto. Young passes to Joseph. Young up top, kicks it to Joseph. 5 on the clock. For 3. They get it again. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Just one moment where Young catches you the wrong way, and he'll find his way to the free throw line.
A few teams at this point in the season have battled through back-to-back games. Just how hard is that on the body to play in consecutive nights in this league?
As I recall, Kevin, it wasn't terribly difficult. As a matter of fact, I kind of enjoyed it. You could either get the bad taste of a loss out of your mouth quickly by playing another game. You didn't have to really practice. There's some energy concerns, obviously, but when you're well-rested and excited about playing, you find the energy. But I do believe there's studies that show there's a greater probability for injury the more back-to-back games that you have. That's one of the reasons the league has sought to minimize the number of back-to-back games across the schedule.
On the court for Indiana, Collison and Oladipo are the guard set. Sabonis is out there with Kyle O'Quinn, and it's Bogdanovich in at the 3. A nice shot by AI. AI's got the lead up to 12 now for the Grizzlies.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, AI in their last time out against the Kings really lit up the floor. He finished with 48 points and was diming everybody up with an incredible assist game, setting up his teammates all night long. He racked up big numbers in what was a really good performance. Can he carry it over tonight? We'll see, Kevin.
Thanks, David. It was a performance that not many players are capable of.
I know I won't forget it for a while, and you have to think he'll keep it rolling here tonight. When you're that hot, it takes a while to cool down.
And you know what, Greg? I think defensively, they're going to be ready for him. They won't make things easy. Coming off a game like he just had, I mean, he's going to get a bunch of attention.
And now Oladipo pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Count it. Oladipo's got 7 now in this quarter.
Well, I liked the first quarter he had. I mean, and I'm loving the second quarter even more. Playing with a lot of momentum right now.
Pretty early to be over the limit. That foul situation is something we want to keep an eye on.
The Pacers have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point.
And really one of the best assets of Sabonis is his mind for the game. Very aware on the offensive end, knows how to create chances, and just plays the game with his mind as much as his athleticism.
Gasol finds Griffin. 3-pointer. Second chance shot, and it's Gasol getting it to go. Gasol's got his second bucket.
Boy, the confidence of Gasol on the block is really impressive to see. I mean, once he gets good positioning, he goes right to work.
And stolen by AI. And here we go. Fast break, and AI's got it. Then Gasol with the dunk.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Fantastic speed on the break. Speed kills, showing no mercy in transition there, partner.
And for Sabonis, we all know his father was one of the best when it came to seeing the floor, Greg. As a big man, his passing game was terrific.
And skills like that go a long way in the NBA. Sabonis does all the little things that free up shots for himself and his teammates. Is starting to play with more aggression, and this is a guy that can be an all-star.
And the shot goes down. 14 points for AI.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
And the Pacers call time here. We've seen AI really making a difference here.
He is on a major role today. This timeout was desperately needed. They've got to come up with a new game plan designed to shut him down.
Now, while we've got a moment now to see this year's three-point contest and how it's shaping up, let's take a look at some of the top candidates emerging as we see here some players who are likely to make the final cut.
Not too shabby of shooters on this list, Kevin. You got to love the advancement and really the evolution of the three-point shot in today's game.
You look at AI. I think he's going to be a spectator at this year's three-point contest instead of a participant. But everyone knows he's a heck of a shooter.
Yeah, but it's not going to take away from what would be a great contest this All-Star weekend. The shooters that are lined up to be there are phenomenal.
And as the votes keep pouring in, we'll keep you updated on any changes to that list. It looks like we're going to have quite a group.
Now, you talk about the ultimate marksman's list here, Kevin. Maybe this will be the year somebody gets that perfect score.
Pacers trail by 15. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Collison kicks to Oladipo. The shot's good. Collison making the play. Oladipo's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Inside. Griffin inside. Sabonis is there. And that one's good. Griffin.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Good on the bucket. Collison's got his second bucket of the night.
Yeah, they've raised their shooting percentage in this quarter, and they're starting to get on track.
And they're starting to heat up is what they're doing. They're on fire. I mean, that's what they need to climb back into this game.
Down low, Griffin. And then Griffin with the dunk.
Yes, he does, Kevin. Love seeing Griffin finish with power at the rim. Awesome at throwing it down when he's in this deep.
And so Collison will bring it up for the Pacers. It's a 14-point game. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
Well, listen, I've seen worse performances offensively, but no doubt that group was inconsistent.
For sure. Agree with you there. They just didn't have it. Seemed like they were a step behind and out of sync.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
And a strong finish with two hands.
Spotting the open man, Collison, a capable playmaker.
Memphis leading by 14. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Harrison kicks to AI. Nailed from three-point land. AI's got 19 points.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
It's stolen by Oladipo. From deep three-point range. And so it's Memphis. Their lead. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Really an incredible game from AI.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him. A scoring machine here in that first half.
Yeah, and it's been fun to watch, partner, because not only is he shooting a high percentage, a good percentage, he's also carrying the team.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. So on the floor for Memphis, they've got AI. Griffin is out there with Caspi, and it's Marc Gasol, and it's Harrison in at the point.
And Blake Griffin is just an incredible athlete, explosive and great balance and mobility, powerful. A big guy who can flat out throw it down, and he also can pass it too.
Just 4 to shoot. Count that bucket. 14 points for Victor Oladipo.
Hey, you know what? Once Oladipo gets the hot hand, he knows exactly how to take over because he's a smooth and versatile scorer. Tell you what, As a former Pacer myself, the fans have to love this young core they put together. Oladipo and Sabonis via trade, Turner through the draft. That's a very strong core to build with.
And for the Pacers and their young group, Clark, they all want to grow together.
Yeah, there's outstanding alignment from the very top of the front office, obviously with the coaching staff, and then the players. Tremendous chemistry when you look at the way this team embraces one another. And Oladipo has emerged not only as the star, but the leader who's very well respected by his teammates.
Here's Collison, and the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. AI's got his 5th rebound in this one.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've got to put forth more effort.
Over a minute and a half into the 3rd quarter of action. Pacers trail by 19. Collison feeling it out a bit. He kicks it to Bogdanovich. Back to Collison. Passes to Sabonis. No good that time. And the Grizzlies going the other way now. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one. And that game concludes a 5-game homestand.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
And the Pacers call time here.
And Blake Griffin said early in his career he used to rely on his athleticism to get by. He said the problem was every season he'd be worn out by February. So diversifying his offensive game has helped him to kind of withstand the rigors of a long NBA season.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Lenz checked in for Gasol. Green comes in for Blake Griffin. And Brooks subbed in for Casper.
No luck for him this half after being outstanding from outside the arc in the first half.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Pass to Oladipo. Here's Sabonis. Over Green. Sabonis with the bucket. Sabonis has got 5 points so far. And Greg, you look at a lot of the volume dunkers over the years. Their bodies often wear down. You think of Amari Stoudemire, Antonio McDyess, even Dwight Howard.
Yeah, I think Griffin could see the writing on the wall. He used to get over 200 dunks in the season. Now, less than half that number. But the trade-off, hopefully, will be longevity and an increased skill set. And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score or just great ball movement.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Oladipo. Harrison with the rebound.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Brooks with no one around. And the Grizzlies check on 2 more.
And that's how you move the basketball. Awesome passing leading to the bucket.
And Holiday kicks to Leaf. And stolen by AI. Here's Len. And the dunk by Len.
And that monster lead continues to grow. They are just piling it on now.
Yeah, it looks too easy for him. Almost looks too easy for him, I should say, Greg. I mean, their chemistry really, really at a high level.
Now, here's Oladipo. He's guarded by AI. Leaf passes to Oladipo. 6 on the shot clock. Softly drops in the floater. Oladipo's got 4 this quarter.
Boy, the floater is one of the most beautiful shots in the game, and when used correctly, Victor Oladipo showing you he's got that shot down pat.
And stolen by AI. Here's Brooks. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. He's got 10. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Grizzlies?
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
Timeout called the Pacers. Obviously, the game is played with a more wide-open style now, Clark. Name a few old-school bigs who continue to make an impact.
Well, I like what Andre Drummond does. The big fella's a glass-eating machine. Still needs to refine his moves and shooting touch, but his athleticism and rebounding off the charts. Blake Griffin stands out as well. Highly skilled, very, very athletic. Steven Adams, obviously a big guy who plays an old-school game. Rim protector, finisher, good hands, great strength. Dwight Howard, you know, he's on the backside of his career, but you think about what he was able to do in his prime as a shot blocker, rebounder, finisher. He's got some old-school qualities as well.
And a wide-open look for AI. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls.
Yeah, but there's no stopping him right now. I mean, he's locked in this quarter. This defense has to get the ball out of his hand.
Now Joseph still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Count it. Good.
Corey Joseph does a nice job with his speed and change of pace to get by the defense.
Memphis has gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. 6 of 13. Count it. Good. 31 points for AI.
Great basketball from him, Kevin. A commanding performance, helping add to the lead this quarter.
And Holiday kicks to Leaf. Young outside. That one off the back iron and out. And here's Brooks. He'll bring it up for the Grizzlies. Here's Jackson. Let's take a brief moment to look at the 2K leaderboard with the list of the league's feistiest defensive teams. Second, the Pacers.
You can't get careless with the basketball against this group. I mean, they'll pick your pocket, and no surprise to see them in the upper echelon as far as steals.
Darren Collison, he's checked in for the Pacers. Here's Collison. Right now, he's averaging 11 points a game. And there's the pass to Young. Back to Collison. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
You know, when you think of Darren Collison, I think of a smart point guard. Had 2 seasons playing understudy to Chris Paul in both New Orleans and L.A. Similar type of players who are very efficient and just gets the job done.
Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Indiana. Bogdanovich comes in for Doug McDermott. And Temple kicks to AI. 1:25 left to play in the third. Clock at 6. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And a quick look now at how the Memphis Grizzlies' schedule is shaping up. On Monday, they'll be matching up with Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. And then on Wednesday, they'll face off against Jimmy Butler and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
You know, most teams might get worried at a long road schedule like this one, but they've been so good away from home. I think they might be looking forward to it. You have to respect what this team can do when they're in your building.
And with Collison and Greg, how he plays, when he's off the floor, you notice.
I mean, things just don't seem to run as smoothly when he's not at the helm. Finds that balance between creating for himself and others, selective with his shots, and truly a complete guard, even if he doesn't do a lot of those flashy things.
And you can see it. They're in a nice rhythm in terms of shooting. It's been that way the entire second half.
And, you know, Greg, it's hard to ask for much more than that because they're getting to their spots and they're knocking down the shots.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half, sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
And O'Quinn kicks to Collison. And he banks in the layup. Collison's got 8 points.
And, you know, even though he's smaller and slight of build, Collison doesn't fear going inside. He's really solid at scoring from there.
Pachulia dishes to AI. Back to Pachulia. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Pachulia's got his first bucket of the night.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
AI in the post and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And this will be his second and third shots at the line here. And he makes the first. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. And so it's Memphis, leading by a full 31 points at the end of the quarter. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
For me, next to the big-time alley-oops and monster throwdowns, passes like that are probably the next best thing when it comes to sweet-looking NBA highlights.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works, or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. Young is up there with Anabogu. Then it's Corey Joseph. Then it's Johnson, and it's Wilcox in at the shooting guard position. 6 to shoot. Johnson for 3. It's rebounded by Gasol. Gasol's got his 6th rebound on the night.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Joseph finds Johnson over Brooks. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys too.
And another turnover here by Memphis.
That is just
We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Glenn passes to Caspi. Memphis moving that ball around. AI, no good. The Pacers have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. Here's Oladipo, rejected by Reyes. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. At the top of the key, Len. Back to AI. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Here's Joseph. Sabonis kicks to Oladipo. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And you can feel that Oladipo was on the verge of a breakthrough, and boy, did he have it.
And the Grizzlies with possession here. Outside, Green. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And for Oladipo, Greg, there wasn't just one moment that gave him that push.
I mean, his development was less of having a eureka moment and more of everything just coming together. Has always had the strong athleticism, has refined his shot to make the most of it. And while it took him some time, he's now the player everyone hoped he'd be when he was a second overall pick.
Out to the right wing. McDermott kicks to Leaf. On its way from Oladipo for two. Good, he hits the jump shot. Oladipo's got 20 points.
He sees he has the room he needs and doesn't hesitate on the catch-and-shoot jumper, which he shouldn't. I mean, I like when Oladipo is quick with the shot.
Green dishes to AI. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. 36 points for AI.
Always enjoy solid, good passing. Easily setting up his teammate. Does not get any easier than that.
And Oladipo kicks to Leaf. Back to Oladipo. Shot clock at 6. With some arc, and it's good on the layup. Oladipo's got 6 in the quarter.
Boy, he carves defenses to pieces. Victor Oladipo is fantastic at slithering his way inside.
Lots of physical play, Clark, during your time in the NBA. That's been toned down to a degree. Do you miss it being a bigger part of the game now?
You know what? I think it's still a very physical game. The rules have changed. The way the game is officiated has certainly changed. Some of the tough fouls that you saw in decades past don't exist as much. But I still think the game is extremely physical. So I'm glad to see us move in the direction of toning that down a bit. There's enough physicality in the game.
Reyes. Out of bounds, Indiana takes possession. Marc Gasol is checked in for Alex Len.
Marc Gasol.
The Pacers have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the fourth and even 50%. Now here's Collison. He's guarded closely. Sabonis against Jackson. Just 5 on the clock. Sabonis inside. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. A lot of super teams trying to form right now, Clark, in the NBA. Golden State, one of them. Talk about some of the sacrifices stars have to make, for instance, in Houston, when they join forces.
Kevin, that's such a great point, and one that's often just overlooked or underemphasized, the sacrifices you have to make to be a championship team. And usually that starts at the top of your roster with your best players. And sometimes they have to bend and mold their games to the people around them. So that's the hard part of it. Just because you put together a lot of talent, as we've seen, doesn't mean you're going to win a championship. So the sacrifices, the commitment, those are big parts of contending for titles.
Collison kicks to Oladipo. Grizzlies with the rebound. Harrison's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Fires for 3. And it's AI missing. And here's Collison, who will bring it up for the Pacers. To the paint, here's O'Quinn. And O'Quinn slams it in.
And he might be small for a center, but boy, can he jump out of the building.
And the Grizzlies leading by 21. Gasol kicks to Harrison. Some nice passing there by Memphis. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there. Earned those free throws.
That free throw, no good. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Pachulia, he's checked in for Gasol. Jermichael Green comes in for Jackson. Dylan Brooks, he's checked in for Caspi. And Garrett Temple subbed in for Harrison. Now here's Joseph. D right on him. Clark, we know of your involvement with college basketball, calling the Final Four. College teams occasionally change conferences here in the NBA. There's talk of eliminating conferences altogether.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a bit of a traditionalist.
So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this.
Hey, AI.
What's up, Charlie?
They want to talk to you in the studio. You have a second?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Let's do it.
Right this way.
All right.